Hey guys, in this video, we will talk about how to counter Paquito using Ruby. Based on my experience, Paquito will be very hard to counter using Ruby. I usually ban him in rank game, but for the sake of this tutorial, I intentionally didn't ban him in this game. It is important to know who you are countering, so you need to at least read his skills. You can do that by simply going to Heroes and find the one you want to counter. In here, you can read all of his skills. Knowing your enemy will make aware what he can do and what he can't do. Just watching your team or enemy use Paquito is not enough. You have to understand him on your own. If you are the type of a person that find it hard to understand a text explanation, then you can at least try the easy to understand explanation officially made by Montage just by click this light mode. Full mode is much better with a very detailed explanation, so I highly recommend you reading all of this. If you are too lazy to do that in Mobile Legends, then you can at least do the reading here in this website. In here, you can also see how to counter such specific skills and how to block it. I will just leave the link in the description below. You can check it out after watching the whole video. Now let's proceed to the battle. If your enemy is professional and too aggressive by not letting you farm, then you can use your first skill to last hit enemy minions. That way he can't delay your gold and XP. Don't be aggressive until you reach level 2. When you have your second skill, then you can use your first skill to dash forward and deal damage to Paquito, then use your second skill to stop Paquito from hitting you back and then dash backward. Do this continuously while taking cautious of his attacks and the map. By doing this in each time you face Paquito in a match, then you will have experience that you can use to do this in a professional way. Always put it on your mind that even Paquito have a low health, he can still kill you since he can deal huge amount of damage, and he can also gain a small amount of shield, which is more than enough to take the damage you can deal to him. What I want to say is that never be overconfident or you might dig your own grave. Anyways, I am sorry for a record without a sound. I do not have a good phone, so recording has always been hard for me. Anyways, I am sorry for a record without a sound. I do not have a good phone, so recording has always been hard for me. I am using execute here, so I have a better chance killing him with the help of my assassin emblem. But if you are using fighter emblem and flicker, then you might have a hard time killing him. If that's the case, then just focus on clearing the lane, then go to jungle monster to farm faster. If you stayed too long in a lane trying to kill Paquito, then you might just lose your time. I am against a top 3rd Street senior, but it is obviously that he just acquired that title easily by using fake GPS, which is why I am not having a hard time against this Paquito. So you have to focus on what I am saying more than what my video is showing you, since all of I've done here might be different from you when you face a professional Paquito player. I highly suggest that you should take your distance when Paquito is in a champ stance. If you do not know what the champ stance is, it is a passive skill of Paquito where his next skill will be enhance and deal additional damage. Because Paquito have the ability to increase his own movement speed, then it would be hard to run from him, so always take cautious. If you are going to fight Paquito head on, then you should always max your passive first. Having additional physical defense will help you not to die first, especially when enemy Paquito is using execute. If you are still having a hard time, then you should just try this again and again. Experience will surely make you more aware to what different Paquito users can do. My next tip is that you should use Paquito at least 10 times or more. If you experience how to use Paquito, then you will know more about how to counter him. By using him more and more, you will soon notice his weaknesses and where his strengths are. If you do not have Paquito, then you should invest and try to buy him, or at least have a trial card. If you are still having a hard time against him, then try to adjust your build according to him. I highly suggest brute force for good physical defense. Its unique passive will also give you additional defenses and movement speed, which will help you make you survive in the early game. Dominance Ice is also a good item to counter Paquito, since it will lower Paquito's shield and lifesteal. Since Dominance Ice have a huge physical defense too, Paquito will have a hard time killing you, but Dominance Ice won't give you HP unlike brute force. Always remember that this is not a 1v1 battle, so you should be careful when you are adjusting your build. If you focus too much on your physical defense, then enemy mages will kill you easily. If you are confident in your skills, then you can build Haas Claws first for the best lifesteal. I always build this first right after the boots so I can have more sustain and damage before building a defensive item. If you are still having a hard time, then try to do a research on YouTube. Remember that Montage always adjusts the game, so you should be aware on what you watch. If you watch a tutorial that was made last year, then that tutorial might not be as effective today since there have been too many adjustments was made already. You can check here the date when the video was uploaded. You can adjust the date of results by filtering your search here. Just click Filters, then choose the best date that will fit you. When you finally choose the video you want to watch, then pause it first, check the likes and dislikes and check the comments. Some content maker is doing their tutorial in a horrible way, so you should at least find a tutorial that have at least 85% likes. If the video have more dislikes, then you should be warned. It might not be the best option for you. After checking the comments, you can see people's thoughts, reactions and opinion about the video. If the comments are positive, then it is good to watch. If the video have more dislikes and the comment section have full of negative comments, then I highly suggest that you should find another video. If the comment section have been turned off, then be suspicious. The content creator can always manipulate the likes just by creating tons of accounts and liking his own video. All of this is just based on my experience. I am a fourth-year graduating college student, so doing research in YouTube was my daily activity. I do not want you to waste your time. Watch a video which is worth your time. My last tip might be contradict to the title of this video, but hear me out. If you are having a hard time against Paquito, then ask your team in a gold lane to switch lane with you. Do not force yourself to face someone who's stronger than you. There are times when we have to back down from a fight. This is a mind game, not a muscle game. Remember that the reason why Mobile Legends is so fun to play is because you can play with different types of people. There are times when you have a boring match because your enemy is too weak, but there are also a time when you have to face someone who's far stronger than you. When that happens, do not be discouraged and blame your team when things gets hard. When that happens, try to outsmart your enemies. If you can't outsmart your enemy, then try to change in your tactics. Try to ask your team with a different strategy. There are times when you can't outsmart your enemy, but your team can outsmart your enemy's team. This is a 5 versus 5 battle, not a 1 versus 1. Don't believe in your fantasy that you can always win the game on your own. When your team starts getting hard on each other, then try to encourage them and say positive things, like, "Weak into this, don't give up," and other things which you think will be the most effective way. If your team trash talk you and you trash talk them, then both of will just have a hard time. And your other team members will also get affected. So try to always be positive in every game. I forgot to say, if you are going to dash using Ruby's passive, then try to do it in a side dash. Since Paquito's attack is a full straight attack, then try to counter him by dashing side by side. That way, he will have a hard time killing you. Always try to predict your enemy's movement while being unpredictable. Use your prediction to outsmart your enemies. When the other lane is losing too much already, then help them. You won't accomplish anything just by defending your turret. This is one of common mistakes of many players. Sometimes, a sacrifice should be made in order to accomplish a better job. If you stayed too much on your lane, then you will soon regret it. I already told you that this is a team fight, not a 1 versus 1 game. Thank you for listening to my tutorial up to this point. This is all I can teach you for now. I hope it helps you. Finish the video and see how I countered Paquito even at the late game. If this video helps you, then please like the video. That way, more people will find this video and more people will learn from this video. And please subscribe to my YouTube channel, it will really helps me a lot.
Choppers, better took those risks. Cold blood on my fists, we fire starters. One out of a million will reach those heights. Always had a feeling that I won't deny that work. Never could toss. Look in my eyes, I'm on the rocks. Rise. too late to fall. Yeah, anyone coming up, I lift them all. Never look down when there's risk involved. I got guts, got a lot, I gotta waste it all. Ain't got no feelings, we just floating. Yeah, I'm that grain of sand that made it out the ocean. A couple milli now, I'm causing a commotion. I've been coasting, hear my name around the world like an explosion. Choppers, better took those risks. Hold one of my fists, we fire starters. Let's go. One out of a million will reach those heights. Always had a feeling that I won't deny that work. Never could toss. Look at my eyes, I'm on the rise.
Kimi no tomiko ni natte shimae ba kitto kono natsu wa jujitsu suru